Hello, welcome back to my Haunted Drive-In. It's Regina. Today I have a slasher film from 1980 called Silent Scream. Now, it also says it was released in 1979 with The Silent Scream, but I think I saw the 1980 version because apparently this film was shot and then reshot, almost the entire film, because there were all kinds of problems with it, and re-released, and it was a surprise hit at the theater, which I believe I saw it at the drive-in in 1980. I know I was in high school when I saw it. And I never forgot this movie, and I hadn't seen it since. And I just remember I really loved it. And now watching it again, I'm thinking it wasn't really that scary, and it's not that scary now, although I probably thought it was scary in 1980. But I still like it a lot, and I don't know if it's everyone's cup of tea, but there's something about it. There's a certain V.C. Andrews kind of quality to it, and I'm going to talk about it now. Now, I'm going to say that I'm going to give out some spoilers because it's really hard to talk about this film without giving out some spoilers. So right from the get-go, just know that I will be giving away specific plot points. This film was starring Rebecca Balding, who's this cute actress who I do remember from the TV show Soap. And she's got this kind of cute little Tony Tennille haircut. And Cameron Mitchell, who played a cop in like almost every TV drama. And there's something kind of like TV about this movie, if that makes sense. Barbara Steele has a pivotal role in this. And in a grand dame turn, we have Mrs. Munster herself, Yvonne DiCarlo. And she plays kind of more of like a matronly character in this. But like I said in my other videos about these old kind of 70s era, 80s, early 80s drive-in type of movies, you often find an old movie star in the grand dame guignol turn. And it's always fun to see that. And it's just like adds an interesting kind of texture to the film. So this is a story about Scotty, a cute co-ed who's looking for a boarding house. She's just started her term at a Southern California college, and she can't find a place to live. So she finally, of course, comes by one that is an old Victorian mansion on a bluff looking over the ocean. So we've got a kind of a spooky house and some spooky inhabitants, including a high school kid who, the actor looks like he's probably closer to like his mid-20s, but who's kind of like a nerdy Norman Bates. His name's Mason. His mother, who's played by Yvonne DiCarlo, Mrs. Engels. So in the boarding house with her are Doris, a bouncy kind of fun girl, Peter, who's this rich kid kind of snob, and Jack, who is this blonde, hunky surfer type who's always walking around without a shirt. So while the four young college kids go out to dinner, Mason is like in his room watching like violent westerns and stuff, and then looking at his trunk which contains his dead father's World War II uniform and gun and medals. This was important. When Scotty's getting dressed, somebody's watching from the grate in the wall. So there's someone in the wall watching through the air duct. So they all go out to party. Peter gets drunk and obnoxious and starts making comments about Doris and, making passes at her. She gets pissed, leaves him drunk and passed out on the beach. And it's supposed to be night. I guess they shot it like in the day, and they did like a day for night filter, which doesn't really work. But this is a low budget independent film that was a huge hit. It made a lot of money. So as Peter's passed out on the beach, Jack and Scotty make out, and every time they make out, this like kind of cool jazz kicks in. And I do have to say something, the score is really good. The original score is very good. In fact, when I was looking at it on Amazon Prime, which is where I watched it, the guy who made the score, Roger Kellaway, actually commented, which I thought was kind of interesting. Anyway, so while Peter's passed out on the beach, somebody comes creeping up and he's like, "Hey, who are you?"
Hi. How you doing?
And he gets stabbed to death. Two detectives who are, like I said, actors I remember from television. One was a guy who was always in cop movies, and the other guy I think was like the Doritos guy. I remember this face. They start to investigate and they learn that the Engels have some creepy past, including a twisted sister. And I know a lot about that, actually. They have a twisted sister hiding in the walls and in the attic, and that is played by Barbara Steele. Victoria was institutionalized, the cops find out, because she attacked a romantic rival in high school. Later, we learned that she was pregnant and she tried to hang herself in this kind of cool like flashback sequence. So Scotty and Jack start hitting it off, and in a very inspired scene of like cross-cutting between two scenes, we have Doris in the basement, in the creepy basement, doing her laundry, while Scotty and Jack get it on in Scotty's bedroom, and Doris is listening to them getting it on through the air duct, and suddenly, out of the wall, pounces the serial killer slasher, who starts stabbing Doris to death at the same time that the other couple is having sex, and we have like this orgasmic screams blending with the screams of horror and agony. It's a very inspired scene. And when I watched that, I'm like, I remember that scene. So, like I said, spoilers, it is then discovered while Scotty starts to do some investigation around the house. She hears some strange noises and just decides to take a flashlight and go through the secret passageways behind the wall, ignoring like a huge puddle of Doris's blood. And then when she gets to this little hole in the wall, she kind of scoots down and gets pulled into this secret room where, lo and behold, Victoria is the whole time played by Barbara Steele. And Barbara Steele doesn't really have a lot of lines. I don't even know if she says anything, but she's great in her like twisted performance of this disturbed young woman that the mother has been protecting, and Mason has also been keeping that secret. So it's kind of set up, like I said, spoilers right from the start. It's kind of set up that Mason's kind of like your Norman Bates, and he's the one creeping around looking through the air ducts, but it's actually Victoria. And then there are some more revelations where the mom tells Mason, I'm not your mother. Crazy Victoria is actually your mother, and your father is not the war hero. He was just some random high school boy that knocked up your sister. Well, Mason goes completely bonkers, and in the scene I think is really good, dresses up in his what he thought was his father's World War II uniform, takes out the pistol, and goes on a rampage throughout the house. So and I'll leave it at that as far as giving away the entire story. So even though Silent Scream didn't scare me, I definitely enjoyed it. And I think if you're into kind of a more like gothic, soft horror, I mean, there are some very violent moments, but it's a little tame compared to like Halloween or Friday the 13th even. But it's in that vein. So I really liked it. So I did ask Batilda to come and join us, but as you can see, she's not feeling too well. She gets into fits sometimes, and I think we need to get her back in the attic ASAP and try to calm her down. So I'm going to leave it here. Thanks for stopping by our Haunted Drive-In, and I'll see you soon. Bye.